I can see some disturbance is coming. Please mute yourself. So when you go into assignment, you can see your assignment. So you just have to click it. So because I am the faculty teaching, I will be able to see the assignments returned from everyone. So you can see here, all the marks are appearing. Can you see? So let us see how many students have answered the questions correctly. Okay. Should be forms. Okay. So do you have AutoCAD installed? Only 27 members answered, and many of you don't seem to have the AutoCAD ready. So if you are unable to install educational version, your friends know of some alternate methods. You can always discuss in the discuss at this place in the teams. So those who know the alternate methods, those who have other versions of AutoCAD available, they can share with you your friends. So let us go to the test. Yeah. Responses. Not displaying the responses. This Microsoft Teams interface is very different. Marks and all, I guess everyone has received. How many can see the marks in the assignment page? Please raise your hand. Those who can see the marks in the assignment, raise your hand. You see, you should respond. As soon as I ask you to raise your hand, you should respond. Fine. You can see around 7 members have raised your hands. What about the rest? You can't see. You should go to the assignments tab, click your badge, click next, and here you should be able to see your assignment. Opening the forms correctly. Okay, now you can see the test. See the summary, summary. Yeah, okay. Fine. So here is the result. First question, which of the following methods doesn't create a circle in AutoCAD? You all know there are different methods of creating a circle. So among the 44 who answered, 45 who answered, 40 of them answered correctly. Control C. Control C is the shortcut for what? Control C is the shortcut for copy, not for circle. Okay. So Control C is the only wrong answer. All other methods, they do create circle. Fine. So Control C is the only one which doesn't create a circle. Read the question carefully while you're answering. Next question. Which of the below options will you use to snap your cursor to specific points on other objects? If you are snapping to specific points on the screen, then it is just snap. Okay, this will be the option. But you are snapping to specific points on other objects. When this other object is mentioned, the correct option should be object snap. What does the polar option do? Polar option shows you the angles. It will not snap you to particular points in the object. It will snap to particular angles. And ortho, it will only limit your movement to either vertical or horizontal. Fine. To be specific, actually, it is parallel to X and Y axis on the UCS. So if you are rotating the UCS, then it will remain parallel to X and Y axis. The correct option here is object snap. So 36 members have answered correctly. 6 members got confused between snap and object snap. So around 3 members, I don't know what the problem is. They have not been listening to class, or they have not practiced AutoCAD at all, is what I feel. Third question, dash space is used for creating object, and dash space is used to set the drawing on the paper. In the yesterday's class, in the beginning itself, I have explained clearly there are two layouts, there are two spaces in AutoCAD. One is called the model space, the second is called layout space. First is called the model space, second is called the layout space. The model space is having black background so that you can draw easily and it is easy on your eyes. And layout space is where you set your diagram on the paper so that you can take the printouts. Around 3 members got confused between layout and model. They have interchanged it. So there is some slight confusion, please clear it. And 5 members, they chose something which is not an option at all, graphic and layout. It's not called graphic area, it's called model space. Fine. So a little bit of confusion probably here. And there is one member who has chosen model and graphic. Fine. There is nothing called graphic space here. We have only two, that is model and layout. I just gave the graphic to confuse you. So these 6 members have not been listening to the class. 3 members have got confused and 36 are correct. Last question. Which of the below commands are not present on the status bar? So what is status bar? Status bar is the bottommost line on AutoCAD, right? Status bar is the bottommost line on the AutoCAD. So we have all the drawing aids present there. We also have the graphic coordinates present over there. So you can see here this bottommost line, my cursor is moving on the bottommost line. So that bottommost line in the AutoCAD window is called as the status bar. Okay, so this is called the status bar. So here you can see the coordinates are there, then we have all the drawing aids and other stuff. So the question is, which of the following commands are not there, not present on the status bar? So which of them is not present? The ortho, we sure have ortho option present there. Polar option, yes, polar option is also present. Snap option is also present along with grid option. Rectangle is the only option which we don't have over there. The rectangle, where do we have rectangle command? We have the rectangle command here in the draw menu. Correct. So in the home ribbon, among the draw commands, we have the option of rectangle. We don't have it in the drawing aids or on the status bar. Right. So that's it for now. I think one more student have answered just now. Late submissions are also getting accepted. So on an average, 3.2 average of all the students, average of the 46 students who answered is 3.2. Not a bad idea, but let us try to improve it in the future classes. So for every class, I'll be giving at least 4 or 5 questions. They'll be very simple questions. If you listen to the class properly, you should be able to answer. So in a way, this is just a confirmation of whether you are listening to the classes or not. Okay. This is not very complicated like GATE or something. It will be very, very simple. Later on, of course, after a few weeks, I will be providing with some more complicated tests, which you should also be able to do. So, okay, it's 9:42 and we have how many members joined? We have 27 members joined. Those who have raised your hands, you can push it down. Lower your hands. Okay. So let us start with today's class. So Where is your phone? Where you can buy this? I got it on Amazon. No, not on Good. Okay. I had a template file. So I got Yeah. So I'll share a video today in the post, and in that video, I have explained clearly how to create a template file. Right. So for now, I'll not waste my time. I'll just go ahead and use that template. And in that video, you can learn how to create this particular template. So what is special about this template? Special thing is I have changed the style of the text a bit. I've changed the style of text a bit. And I have created some extra layers. Right, these layers you can see for axis I have created one layer, for dimensioning another, for hidden lines another, and for solid lines one more layer. So in the template file I have explained how to create all these layers, and to avoid wastage of time, what every engineer does is he will create a standard template for himself and he will keep it ready. So whenever he has to start a new project, he will just start with the template file and all the settings will load along with the template. Fine. That is the advantage of using a template file. And let us start with today's class. Um, we go back to the manual. Drawing, title block, these things I think we have covered. We just go directly to the sectional views. Thank you. So sectional views. How do we draw the sectional views? This is what is explained here. So convention for drawing sectional views. I had briefly mentioned this when I was explaining the introduction video. So this is how we show the sectional view. So first up, we should be able to draw the front view and the top view. And then we have to draw the sectional view, the line showing the section in one of the views. So in this particular case, our section plane is vertical, and hence in the top view we can see that section plane as a straight line. So XX, the cutting plane, is the section plane, and when we cut this object along the XS plane, we can see this is how the sectional view appears. Not here, we'll just zoom it further inside. Fine. So I hope you can now see that clearly. So this is how we need to show the sectional view. And in AutoCAD, these sectional views will not be created automatically. Right. So each and every line, each and every line, or even the hatching, everything you have to manually create yourself. Right. That is a big disadvantage of AutoCAD, and that is one of the reasons why the modern designers are no longer using AutoCAD. AutoCAD is a very basic software, non-parametric software, and mostly civil engineers use it. And companies which have low budget, they generally go for AutoCAD. But the problem here again is they have to draw each and every line by themselves. And it doesn't happen automatically. So this is something called as a full sectional view. And then we have here, this is a half sectional view. And so what happens in half sectional view is the right side part will not be section and the left side part only is section. Right. So when do we use such sections? Usually when an object is symmetric, usually when an object is symmetric, and if we want to show The external view, how it appears from the outside, as well as the internal view, where we want to show both the views without wasting space. In a small space, if you want to show both of these views, we generally go for half sectional view. Right. So this is full sectional view here, and this one here is half sectional view. Then we have something called local section as well. What happens in local section is only a part of the object we want to show in section. And we don't want to reveal the whole block because the total block may be a bit more complicated. And only a part of this broken, we want to show it in section. Like this groove here is present inside a rectangular or a cylindrical object. And from outside, when we see, this will appear as dotted line. It will be hidden inside. But we just want to ensure that this is visible. This is even more preference. It appears more clearly in our drawing. And hence, what we have done is we have broken the section over here. You can see some zigzag line over here. So up to this zigzag line, we have broken and we are showing the insides of it. Okay. So this is the groove present inside the shaft. Then here we have arrangement of successive sections. Sometimes, a lot many times, what happens is we have a constantly changing cross section. It's a long component. So here you can see this is the shaft. And the shaft is having different diameters at different points. And we want to show the sectional view of each of these parts. So some of the parts, they don't have any special features present on them. It is just a circle. We don't have to show such parts like we have here, this point. Yeah. Okay, sorry, there was a call. Okay, so let us continue. So, is my voice clear?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay, so fine. So, whenever we have to show different sections on the shaft, that is where we use arrangement of successive sections. Successive means continuously. So we have one section over here, one section here, here, and here. Right. So total of 4 sections are being displayed over here. Right. So how we can do that? We just have to draw the sectional line here and name the section. So here the name of the section is A. Right. So AA is the name of the section, and we are placing the sectional view over here. So this is how the sectional view AA will appear when you look at it from the left side. Fine. When we look at it from the left side, this is how it is going to appear. So here you can see this is not solid line. If you watch this carefully, just try to increase the zoom a little further so that you can see. Okay, I think I cannot zoom it further. This is the limit to which I can zoom. So here, if you observe this carefully, these are dotted lines. Dotted lines means they are on the back side. They're not in the front. If they are in the front, they'll be visible. Right? So because it is on the back side, we cannot see that, and hence it has been shown here as dotted line. And when we see it from the left side, this is on the left side is where we see that groove, not on the right side. If it is on the right side, it would have been visible, and he would have actually drawn a solid line, a continuous line would have been drawn here, correct? And you can see here in the section BB, there are actually 2 grooves. One is on the back side and one is on the front side. And because the edges of both these are overlapping exactly, we are seeing only one set of lines here. You cannot see another set of hidden lines for the backside groove. So because this will create a lot of confusion, that is why we have to draw the sectional views like this. Fine. We have to draw the sectional views like this. So, and here you can see this is at the bottom, there is a groove at the bottom, and that groove we are showing here at the bottom. And in the D section, you can see there is a groove at the top. So that groove you can see here. So this is arrangement of successive sections. So in a few machine components, wherever you have a long shaft, which is having different cross sections and which has some features present on it, like a groove of different cross section or something like that. That's where you can use the successive cross sections. Now, in this class, we will draw a few objects in the sectional view. So a total of four objects are placed. Fine. There are two more at the bottom. And according to the question, we have to draw these sectional views. Fine. So I will just show you by drawing one or two of them, and the remaining you have to do as assignments. Okay. So let me go with this. This appears to be simple. I just keep this on the side. Take the AutoCAD window and keep it on the left. Okay, so this one seems a little more complicated, so I'll go with that. So in the template file, I already have these objects placed. They are already present in the different layers, and their properties have also been changed. So when I turn on the line weight, here at the bottom, you can see the line weight option. So when I turn on the line weight, you can see their thicknesses are appearing different. Fine. So while drawing, I can just hide it so that they don't disturb me while I'm drawing. And once the drawing is complete, I can turn this on and check out how it actually appears in the paper. Fine. So exactly how it appears in the paper, you can go to the layout space and check it over there. Fine. So this is where you exactly get how it appears. Fine. So let me now just turn the line weight off and I'll just start drawing this object. So in order to draw this object, what I first need to do is I have to draw the X and Y axis. And I'll just take a line command. So I can take line command from here at the top. I have to draw a horizontal line. I'm not getting a horizontal line. What I should do? I can keep ortho or polar on. I'm getting a big enough line. Let me get around 200 or something like that. And I'll again go for line command, or I can just repeat the command from here. Repeat it, and draw a vertical line. These are just construction lines. This is XY line, the horizontal line, and this is X1, Y1 line. Next, I need to draw the front view. Here, having shown an arrow here, and that arrow is what the arrow is trying to tell me is that the front view appears from this direction. Fine. So it appears from this direction. Okay. That's fine. Let us go ahead. So because the arrow is pointing slightly towards the left, we have to draw the front view on the left side, not on the right side. Fine. This is something you have to be a little careful about, where you choose the front view, where you start the front view. Fine. Sometimes the arrow will be pointing towards left, so you have to start your diagram on the right side. Let us see if some of the diagrams is showing an arrow pointing towards left. Okay, so almost all the four diagrams have an arrow pointing towards left. So for all these four, you have to start your diagram in the second quadrant. Fine. So this is where you have to start. Let us see some more. All of these are towards the left. Okay, this one here, you can see the arrow is pointing towards right. So only for this one particular diagram, you may have to do it on the right. You have to start at the right. For remaining all of them, you have to start over here in the left side. Let us go ahead, go back and over diagram. Let's begin drawing this. Fine. So this is where I have to start. Let me take the line command again. I can always go to right click, repeat the line command, and I can start drawing it. Fine. I'll just draw a vertical line randomly at one point, and from there I'll start taking all the other measurements. So this line, I will just use it as a axis line. So match properties command I will be using to change the properties. Fine. So this line is actually an axis line. So it should appear like an axis. So this is how we want the axis to appear. So what we have to do is we have to type MA. MA will activate the match properties command. So after typing MA, I have to click once on the property which I want to copy. So this is how I want my axis line to appear. So I just have to click on this, and then I have to click on this line. So you can see this style is now getting copied over to this style. Fine. So this is a very fast method of copying the properties from one object to another. Fine. And hence the process of creating a template becomes all the more important. You should create a template and keep it ready. Fine. So this I will use it as an axis, and from the axis there is at a distance of 90 mm. You can see there is a left line. I'll take offset at a distance of 90. I will take on the left side. So now I have this length over here. Now its height is 24. So let's take offset and 24. So how did I give the offset command? I just typed it from the keyboard. Shortcut for offset is O enter. So I just typed O enter and I've taken. If you don't like the keyboard, you can of course go to modify and choose offset option from here. This is the offset. Okay. So I have set the distance of 24. Then I have to click on this and just click above it. Now we want this line to extend and come here. So I can just extend it manually, or of course I can use the extend command. Extend command is EX. So EX double enter I can use to extend the line. Fine. Then of course I can use the trim command, TR double enter to remove the extra parts. Fine. So I have removed the extra part. So this line over here, this is for X line, X axis. I have to draw another line from this point to this point. Of course, it will be overlapping. You may be wondering why I'm drawing an overlapping line, because it is not visible. So I'm drawing this so that it will be visible when we take a printout. When we print out, this line here should appear thicker when compared to the backside line. So what I will do now is I will match the properties again, MI, enter. So these lines, I want them to be solid lines. So I will take solid line and transfer the properties to these lines. Right. Now these lines, they become solid. You cannot see the difference because right now the line weight is off. When I turn on the line weight option from here, you can see that this line indeed is much thicker compared to the backside lines. So the same will reflect when we get a printout of it. Okay. So next, what we have to do, we have to get this groove. So when you see from the front, and when we do the section, this groove will appear slightly differently. So what I will do now is I will first draw the top view. Just start drawing the top view. I'll again go to the offset command, modify offset, and I'll just take some random distance and offset it. Now the horizontal length, how much is the horizontal length? We have 32 plus 8 plus 8. So I'll just take offset that many times. Offset. First I'll take offset of 8 here, and again repeat command 32 from here 32, and again repeat the command once again a distance of 8. So I can start drawing a line over here. And from this line, you can see the groove is there only for a distance of 40 mm. Offset 40 distance from this line on the right side. Then again, I have to trim it. TR double enter. TR double enter is for trim. So now the talking of this part is over. Next, we have to draw the circle. To get the circle, you have to get the intersection point of these two. So I've just drawn a temporary line to get that, and using this point as center, I can draw the circle. First, I can take circle from here also. Just here. Now, what is the diameter of the circle? Okay, I guess the diameter has gone outside the screen. So this is 48 over here. I'll just take it as 56 diameter. I'll just take that as 56 diameter. Yeah, it's visible here. So 56 diameter. I just have to right click choose diameter, and then 56. Okay. Now we have the circle ready, and then the inside circle is of 32 diameter. Again, I'll take circle command and take it from right click. Center is the same, and then again I have to go with the diameter. And what is the diameter here? Diameter is 32. I have to take it from the here. Now we have a small groove over here of 6 mm. So what I'll do is I'll just increase the length of this, and I'll just take offset again. Offset. So what is the distance I have to take? Total distance is 6, and from the center it is the same length on both sides.
Hello,
So,
sir.
Yeah. Yes.
Your voice is not clear, sir.
Is there any disturbance or is it too low?
Disturbance.
Sir, there is disturbance, sir, from your background voices.
Okay. Headphones. Mic on. Let me just try to use the mic. Hello.
Sir, now is clear, sir.
Now it's clear. Okay. So let me go ahead with this. Fine. So I have the center line over here, and over here I have total distance of 6. From center we have same distance on both sides. So how much on both the sides? We have to take offset of
3,
3
sir.
mm on both the sides. So I've taken offset, I have fed the distance 3, then I have to click on center line, click at the top, click again center line, click at the bottom. Next, what should I do? I have to go with the command of trim. So TR double enter once again, and go ahead, trim this. Fine. So zoom in here, and I have to remove this, because here you can see this is complete groove moving totally to the bottom. So there is nothing over here. Fine. So this groove is clear, and these lines, they are going and meeting here at this point. So this is where I have to stop it. So once again, TR double enter. Let's remove this. Just remove these 2 lines. They're of no use. Just extend this line to the bottom and extend this line over here to this point. Fine. So now these lines, they are again access lines, and this line we will be using for the section. So what I have to do, I have the match properties MA, and this is how I want these lines to appear. So I just have to copy their styles over to these 2 lines. Now you can see their view has changed. Now they are appearing like axis lines. Okay, so this particular line is my section line. Okay, this particular line is my section line. You just have to mark the section line. You can just draw a vertical line up, and keep the polar option on. In polar, I'll choose 15 degrees. Let's just put an arrow here like this, and that arrow I'll just move it over this point. Fine. So one more copy of this. Copy command is CO. I'll use a copy of this on this side as well. And what is the name I have to give here? I have to name it as AA. So I'll just copy this text. Control C I'm using for copy. Control V I'm using for paste. So I can just paste this. Then I can just name it to A. You can double click the text and rename it to A. Now this section we have to show it in the front view. This section we have to show it in the front view. So let us proceed in doing that. So first of all, I'll take a line from this point. Okay, this corner point. Here we will get an edge. Okay, so I'll just take a line up to here, up to XY line, and from there, the total height we can see here is 56. Height of 56. 56. I'll feed from the keyboard. Then I'll draw a horizontal line again. Okay. And then I'll take another line from this point over to this point, not taking up to XY line, I'm taking up to here, fine. Because above that, the line will be visible. So this line is just a construction line and this line is a solid line. So we have to increase thickness of the above line, not the below. Next, I'll just trim command, TR double enter. Now this line will not go all the way to the center line. Fine. So this line will be stopping somewhere in the middle. So at what point will it stop? At what point will it stop is what we have to find out. So it is stopping exactly over here. You can see that point here in the top view. At this point, we have to use it as a reference to stop this particular edge. So just take a line. I will take a construction line from this intersection point or the end point, and then I'll take a line up to here. Fine. So up to this line, the line should end. Fine. So I can just drag it, or I can of course use the trim command. Fine. So this line is solid, this line is solid, this one is solid, this one is bottom line is gone. Yeah. This line should be completely converted here. Yeah. So all these lines that I'm selecting, they should be dark because they are the visible edges. Fine. So this is how it will appear from the external, from the outside. But what we are doing is we are not drawing how it looks from the outside. We are drawing it as it looks in the section. So when you draw a section, just look at it. This particular line will go backside and it will become hidden. Fine. So we'll have to make slight changes to this. So here, over here, we have a round groove of radius r. And what is this radius? This radius will be half of 32. So many times the dimensions will not be given directly. We have to calculate from the given data. So 32 is like the diameter of this circle, and here he has just shown the radius. He has not given what that radius is. So that radius we have to calculate from 32, and we have to proceed. I'll just take an offset. Fine. And as I told the previous commands, you can always go to recent inputs and choose from here. So offset command is there here. And the distance we want is half of 32. Half of 32 is 16. Enter. This line, the bottom. And then I'll just take a reference line from this point and I'll just draw vertical. Right. Just drop to here, then another vertical line. So this line will be visible in the section, whereas this is just a construction line to take the reference. Fine. And this line here, we have to stop it up to here. Fine. So these lines will be visible. And let us proceed to see how the section will appear here for the cylinder. So for the cylinder, this line will not go here. It will just stop over here. And then we'll have to take an offset. What is this thickness? It is 56 minus 32 by 2. And so I can just use a calculator to make small calculations. 56 minus 32. So 24 is still double. 24, this plus this is 24. So I need half of this by 2, 12. So 12 is the offset here. Again, I have to take offset. I'll go with the keyboard because that's my favorite way of giving the command. And what is the distance we have to give? It's 12. Let's go for 12. So 12 offset from this side on the right, 12 offset from this side to the left. And this line, of course, we will not need it, so I'll just remove it. The sectional line here will have to come down. Okay, so this is the sectional view. Fine. So this line and this line, of course, they're just construction lines. They will not be visible. So this is the total sectional view of a sectional front view of this particular object. So finally, what we have to do is we have to hatch it. So hatch command is available here in the draw, and this is wipeout. Here we can see this is the hatch command. So go for hatch command, and you can see some pattern is appearing. We don't want this pattern. We want our pattern to be slightly different. So we can go to the properties and and choose a different pattern. Hatch pattern, yeah. So hatch pattern option is available too. So you have to go there and choose ANSI 31. So you choose ANSI 31. So there are all kinds of conventions for different materials. We have different conventions. I'm just planning to make an MCQ test based on the conventions. Of course, manual is there with you. You have to go through the manual, check out all the different conventions, and the MCQ test you should be able to answer. Fine. So I will provide you with the diagram, and I will provide you the 4 options. You have to choose the right option. Okay. So this is the sectional front view. If in the question he also asks you the side view, most generally it will be the side view which you see from this side. If you see the side view from this side, of course, it appears on the right side, and this is where in this area you will get the side view. Now, if you have learned engineering graphics correctly, you will know you can get the side view by getting the projections from the front view and the top view. Fine. So let's start drawing this side view. I have to get the same distance over here. So what I'll do is I'll just draw a circle with this point, intersection of x1, xy line and x1, y1 line up to here. And I'll just trim the other quadrants. Just need this quadrant. So only once you have to do this. After that, you can just proceed to take offsets through the points. So I can just go to offset command. And in the offset command here, you can see there are 3 options. We'll get all those options here in the right click menu as well. So we have through option here. So through option is what I want. So I want offset of this arc through different points. So when I'm moving the cursor, you can see wherever my cursor is, I'm getting an offset passing through that point. So I want the offset of this arc passing through the end point of this line. Fine. So don't just click randomly anywhere. You just have to click the end point correctly. Fine. So take the snap, use the snap point correctly, and use the end point. Then I will have to take vertical line from here and here, and I'll take another reference from here. Okay. And I'll have to take the midpoint as reference and radius. How much radius? I don't know the radius. I'll just go with the diameter so that I don't have to calculate. So radius is 32. Diameter. And again, I'll have to trim, PR double enter, upper part down. And then I have to take reference of these 2 lines. So once again, I'll just go with offset through. Just use the keyboard because I'm not much conversant with that. O enter, T enter. Offset of this through this point, and then again offset through this point, So you can see when I'm using the keyboard, repeating the commands and drawing it, it's happening very, very fast. Right. So these 2 lines, they will be hidden. They will not be visible from this edge. Fine. So you can see these 2 edges, they will not be visible from this side, and hence we have to make them as hidden. So just match the properties again. So this is how we want the hidden lines to appear. So I'll just take the style of this. You can see a brush is appearing above my cursor, and I can transfer those here. So I guess this is it. I will have to trim this off. Okay, trim this off as well. Okay, draw another line over here. See, we are almost at the end of the time. I'll just show you how that will appear. You can see there is some variation. So to remove these variations, what we can do is we can apply the properties of the solid lines. Whichever is visible, we have to make them solid. These lines, I don't need it. Match properties, solid lines. These 2 are solid, visible. These inner lines, these lines, stop line, this one, they're all visible. Fine. And all these are also visible. So this is how it is. Fine. So when we see it in the layout space and when we adjust it correctly, you can see that it is appearing correctly. So these construction lines are appearing thinner when compared to the solid lines. The hatch lines also, you can see they are a bit thinner when compared to the other lines. And okay, this is it. This is how we draw the diagrams in AutoCAD, and we can make it ready for taking the prints. So hope you will practice these diagrams. The manual I have already provided to you. There are so many diagrams in it. There are a total of 4 diagrams of this type, wherein we need only one sectional view. There are 2 more diagrams at the bottom. More diagrams at the bottom. So these 4, they have only one sectional view. And for these 2, because they are symmetric along 2 planes, not only the front plane but also the side plane, I've asked 2 sectional views to be drawn. Fine. So I will probably make videos on these and I will upload it. And you should be able to watch those videos and practice. And you should be able to upload the drawing file back into MS Teams. If I find that you're copying or something, I will change the dimensions for every student and I'll give different dimensions for all the students so that no 2 students have the same dimensions and there is little of copying. But for now, I'm just going by trusting you that you will not copy, you will practice on your own and you will upload your own diagram instead of someone else's. There's here some more diagram. This one is a little more complicated. You will need to be a bit perfect before starting this. And then we have some machine components as well listed here at the bottom. Fine. So all these are the sectional views, and hopefully you should be able to draw as many as possible. Okay. So
Sir,
the time for the class is over.
Sir, can you send the manual link? We can't find it in Teams app.
Okay, I'll share it
Yes,
once
sir.
again. No problem. I will share it once again. No problem for that.
Yes.
Okay, I'll just share. Just copy the link. I'm going back to the Teams in the drawing, machine drawing. And I'll just put it in the comments of today's class. Okay. I've just put it in the comments of the today's class. Okay. You'll find it there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And also the recording of today's class should also be getting attached here at the bottom. I'll just take the attendance and I'll stop the meeting. Okay. Only 36 members have joined today. Why? What happened? I think there is a celebration today, right?
Sir, how to download, sir?
Yeah, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Hello.
So please, everyone try to download it. If anyone is having problems, you can
Send
of course
in
contact
PDF,
me
sir,
personally.
Hello. Yes, sir.
Sir,
Your
So
send
voice.
in
PDF,
PDF.
I don't recommend the PDF. Why? Because I'll be updating the manual from time to time. And if you take a PDF, whatever updates I'm making in the manual will not appear in the PDF, right? So I suggest you don't go with the PDF. Just open it from here directly. On the mobiles also, you have you can open it using Google Drive. The link will open up in Google Drive and you can look at it from there. Or you can install Google Documents. Google Docs is an app available on the App Store. You can use that to see the manual. And if you find some mistakes or misspellings or something there, you can just comment over there. I will enable. You can just let me know, or else I will not enable the commenting because last time we found some of the students were deleting a lot of data, and it created a lot of problems for us. So you can contact me, of course, personally if you find any problems, and I'll try to sort it out. So that's it for today's class, and I'll just stop the meeting. You can join the next class wherever it is.